Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If by chance you have missed yesterday's video, this week I am doing a top 5 favorite projects of 2022. So I did number 5 yesterday, go check it out if you haven't already. And today is number 4. Let me tell you all about this project. It is an accordion ephemera holder. I made this project when I reached 1,000 subscribers way back in the beginning of the year, and also the papers that I've used, they were a freebie then, and I believe they're still available on my Ko-fi. Now this example here is not mine because it's already promised to a very dear friend of mine, Corina, who's waiting on her box with goodies, and that box is going to be delivered very soon, my dear. So let me show you. We open it up like so, and then it has all these compartments like an accordion, not a harmonica. I kept calling it harmonica. An accordion, so you can put all sorts of goodies in, and it's really nicely decorated everywhere, and it has a pocket on the back. So I've been making these for a while now. I love this project, and you can make them smaller, bigger, taller, whatever shape you want. I want to make 2 today with you guys. One in this size that is made from an A4 sheet, and I also want to make one that is a tiny bit smaller, just a bit smaller. Yeah. So let me show you the supplies that we need to make this. I want to make 2. One of them is going to be much faster, a much quicker project than the other one. So the first one I'm making from a page of the Reminiscence, the book 2. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I believe this one is on sale, guys. Yeah, I checked it on elizabethcraftdesigns.com, and I believe EU. So yeah, it has sort of normal, well, heavy copy paper, and then craft cardstock, whatever. And I've chosen this page from the heavier, and that is 250 grams. Yeah. So from any sort of, I'm sorry, I had to stretch. You can use any sort of scrapbook paper, but in my mind, I thought this was A4, but it's not, because A4, and let me get an A4 sheet. This is just copy paper printed on. See, it's a lot smaller. So this is going to be a smaller project than the other one. So a piece of cardstocky, scrapbooky paper in a rectangle. Important. Then I'm going to use pages from, this is from an encyclopedia or magazine or what have you. Just papers that are a little bit sturdier, that are not that good looking, and that you just, want to use up. So I'm using this paper. For the other project, I am using digitals and luxury cardstock, it says, and this is an A4 size, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's it for the papers. Yes, and the bits and bobs. Now for the tools. I'm using mostly basics. It would be fantastic if you had a scoreboard, because we need to do some measuring and scoring and folding. Don't worry, guys, I have measurements, so you don't have to do any measuring yourself. So a scoreboard would be nice. Glue, scissors, a paper cutter to cut your paper to, but you can also use your ruler to do the scoring and your ruler to do the cutting and such with scissors. I'm using glue, art, and just normal glue stick. I'm using a corner rounder, again, optional. I am using a circle punch to make notches, again, optional. I am inking, always optional. What is not optional is glue, scissors. And if you don't have this, a ruler to make some markings for the measuring. Yes, now for the closure, guys, I'm not really sure what I want to do with the closure, but my idea is to do something with Velcro dots. These smaller ones, yeah? You can buy these on Amazon for sure. I bought mine on AliExpress. I don't know if the ones on Amazon are better, but I have all of this. You can have any size. What I used before I had this whole sort of strip with Velcro, and I just cut pieces off instead of having dots. I think I want to do something with baker's twine and eyelets for closures, but we'll see. And my bits and bobs. You know, my bits and bobs, poster stamps, labels, washi tape, what have you. So that's it for all the supplies, for the ingredients for this lovely project. Let's start and make some. I'm going to start with the paper that is already really nicely decorated. That's why this project is going to be much faster than the one I'm making after this one. So guys, if you don't have the reminiscence book of any sort of scrapbook paper in this size, and I forgot to mention it needs to be double-sided. Well, it will be nicer if it is double-sided. It doesn't need to be, but you know, we want something nice on the inside. If you don't have this book or this size, you can cut a piece to this size if you want to follow my exact measurements. Yeah, so this is 10 inches, the longer side, by 7.5 inches. Yes, so 10 by 7.5. Now, this is sort of directional, not really, but it is sort of directional. I don't really mind if stuff is going to be upside down, but some stuff is going to be upside down. So I need to make a decision. What do I want to have as the flap? This part. And what do I want to have as this part? I think I want to have this as my flap. Yes? This? Or this? Ooh, there's a lovely label on here. No, I'm going to have this as my flap. So I'm going to have the piece that is the flap, have that on the beginning. On the beginning. Now, if you have a piece of paper, and I'm going to check because I have cheat sheets. If you have the piece of paper that is 10 by 7.5, we are going to make a score. We are scoring at 2 inches. 2 inches, guys. That is a top flap. That is going to be 2 inches. Then I'm going to score at 2.5. Why? Because I am making a sort of spine of 1/2 inch. This part. Yes? 1/2 inch. Now I can give you the next set of measurements, but I'm not going to do that. Be smart, guys. Just turn your page around. Much faster, much easier. Yes? Then I'm going to score at 3. So, not 2, 3. I'm going to score at 3. Yep. And then I'm going to score at 3.5. Why? Because this part is 3. And then this is the spine on the bottom. Yeah? And then we are left with a piece in the middle, which I believe is going to be 4. I think it's 4. I didn't even measure. Is it 4? A little bit over 4. Great. Now, that's all the measuring, guys. Let me show you again. 2, 2.5. Flip it over. 3, 3.5. With these measurements. With the A4 size, they're a little bit different because, you know, the paper is bigger. Let's fold it. So I did all the scoring and the folding and such, and then I forgot to press record. So I'm going to do it again. Just simple. Fold it in. And then sort of burnish it, and the next one. And you know, when I did this, I was telling you how much I love this paper by Esther Class, because we have sort of the same taste in collaging, and she's a lot better than I am because she's a professional. See, you just score it, you fold it on all the scores, and then we are left with this box. Now, however big your ephemera accordion folder will be, there are a couple of things that you need to take into consideration. One of them is the flap needs to overlap the one on the bottom. Yeah, like so. It doesn't need, this is 1 inch, it doesn't need to be 1 inch. You can have a little bit shorter or a little bit taller. What I don't like, me personally, is to have the flap taller, like so. See, that this is the one on the inside. Don't have it like that. No, I want to have this sort of smaller. So make it overlap a little bit. In this case, it is 1 inch. So if you're working with any different kind of size paper, do some measuring and then figure out how much this will overlap. Yeah. So that is the base. What I'm going to do, absolutely not necessary, is round these corners. I just like it. I have these. Well, not the exact ones, but sort of the apothecary label thingies. Yeah, I have real ones. Well, these probably were real as well. See, I'm just going to round these corners. Now what I want to do with this one is focus on the pockets on the inside. Now for the pockets on the inside, I told you I was going to use encyclopedia pages. Yes, I have a very big set of encyclopedias, like 12 volumes or something like that. You can never use all of the paper, but I do love it. It's like nice and sturdy, it's matte paper. But I mostly use them for projects that you are going to completely cover them or you're not going to see them anymore. Obviously, these are way too big to use in here, so you need to cut them to size. Now, let me show you what I did. First, you need the width of the paper. That was it 7.5? 7.5, yes. I have another sort of cheat sheet, yes. So what I want to do is cut the size of the paper for the pockets a little bit smaller. So I've cut them at 7.25, just 1/4 of an inch smaller than this size. Yeah. Now again, they will be much too tall. So what I did, I measured this. This is 3. Yes. So we want to make pockets like so. I already did some. Here's one I made previously. We want to fold them in like so. Have them in here. Yeah, so that they will fit. And also it will be the tiniest bit shorter to leave a little bit of an edge here. So I just doubled this size. So this is 3 inches. So the paper was 6 inches. But because I wanted a little bit shorter than this one, it is actually 5 3/4. So this is 7.25 by 5 3/4. I'm going to make 4. 1, that was the bigger one. 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 of these sort of pages that are 5 3/4 by 7.25. I'm just gonna fold them in like so. Very simple. It doesn't matter which way you're gonna have what. You're not really gonna see them. And if you are, it's just interesting to have some random stuff on here. Well, it's not really true. Sometimes I look at the images because it's an encyclopedia, and sometimes they have weird stuff on there, like intestines drawing because of medical. I don't want that on here. I don't want that on there. So nothing that I really don't like. So we have 4. We have 4 of these. See? 2, 3, 4. And they will fit in here perfectly. These are going to be the pockets. Now we need to do some gluing. I am just going to glue. I'm using art for this. For this bit, I'm using art. For the other bit, I'm using a glue stick. Very important. So you need either 2 glues or a glue that makes a small strip. So I'm just going to close them up to the sides. Strippy glue here and a strippy glue there. Yeah. Just gluing them down. So we made sort of a big pocket here. See? I'm doing that on all sides. There you go. If you wanted to ink them, I'm not gonna, because they're on the inside. You can do that beforehand, but I wouldn't recommend it. Especially not with this one, because this one is going to be the quick project. I did, however, ink all around the base. And the last one. There you go. So inking is always optional. Perfect. Now I have 4 of these large pockets. What I want to do is make notches in them. Optional, completely optional. Because I do want all the notches to line up. I want to do them. I cannot do 3 at a time. My circle punch doesn't like that. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. Be sure they are lined up. Do not punch in the bottoms, right? just don't. I'm always eyeballing the middle. I always am. There you go. Now I'm taking one of them and then having this as sort of a template up against the other ones. See? Taking my circle punch again and I'm just lining up. See there? The blue's gone. There you go. Now all the notches are in the same spot. Great. Now this bit is going to be very important. Glue stick. You need glue stick. Okay, so for the gluing I'm using glue stick. We need lots of glue, so that's why I'm using glue stick, and we need to maneuver it about a little bit. So have them all in a particular order if you want them in a particular order. Be sure all the openings are on the top. Line them up. Now I'm going to flip one of them over. Yes, I'm going to put glue here. Only in the middle part. Yeah? I'm going to have it like a 1/4 of an inch to each side of the notch here, but mostly in the middle. So do not put glue here or here, just in the middle. And lots of it. Be sure at the top that you do not glue the pocket shot. That is very important. Now we're going to glue this to this piece. Yes, again, the notch on the top. But I really want them to line up as best as possible. See, here on the bottom, everything is lined up. Also on the top, yes. So, then you glue it down. There you go. Now you repeat the process. You just put glue in the middle. Yes, all the way to the top. Don't forget, all the way to the top. And then you're gonna line this up. And there you go. Yes, there's glue everywhere. That's okay. I just use a lot of glue on this because I really want to be sure to sort of be able to maneuver them. And the last one. There you go. Now all of them are glued together. Be sure that all your openings are not glued shut like this last one. There you go. There's a little bit of glue here. Also, if you're going to do this, if you did this with art and you accidentally glued the pocket shot, it would be shut forever. So you have like, it's called an accordion, not a harmonica. An accordion style thingy. Yeah? Let it dry for a bit and then we are going to glue them into the base. Now I've used 4 pockets. You could also do 3 or 5. Don't have a lot of them unless you have a very wide spine. So just be sure they fit in here. Now the logical thing would be to put glue on all these sides and then glue them in. Don't, really don't. That is the mistake that most people make when they make this. Again, just put glue in the middle. Yes. What I want to do is glue this piece first and then that piece later. So again, I'm putting glue in. Most of the times, the strip of glue in the middle, on the end parts, I do a little bit, just a tiniest bit wider, just a little bit. See? And then you just line it up. Yes, have it float a little bit from the bottom, just a tiny bit. And there you go. That's why I'm using glue stick, because you can sort of shove it here and there. Putting my hand in and then gluing it down. There you go. See? It's glue shot on one side. If you were to glue it on all these sides, the pocket wouldn't really sort of open up. So again, only on this. In the middle part. And then we're also going to do the other side. This is going to be a little bit trickier, guys. Put lots of glue on in glue stick so that you can sort of maneuver it. Now, when you glue this shot, yes, I'm going to fold it over. Don't have it touch the other paper. Be sure that this is straight. This is very important. Don't have it all the way over here. Don't have it all the way over there. Be sure that this is straight as possible. Yes. Then you gently put your paper down I'm going to have my hand in the pocket so I can press it down. So this is straight, 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 straight. Yes. And then I'm gluing it down. And this is I think the most difficult part of the whole sort of project. Putting my bone folder in here, making sure that it is glued down. There you go. See? So now when we open it up, ta-da! Pockets. They're nicely tucked in here. Yeah? Fantastic, right? I love this. I'm going to make a very simple closure. It is already beautiful. With the other one, I'm going to decorate bits and pieces and put pockets on and what have you. But this is actually, it is fine as it is. I'm not going to add anything other than also, again, a very simple closure. For the closure, I'm just going to use an eyelet and some baker's twine. You don't even need to use an eyelet. You can also punch a hole and then have just a hole reinforcer. I'm going to have both on here because why not? I'm just going to make one hole, so you don't need to sort of figure out what is the middle. I'll have it in the middle. That'd be nice. But I'm just going to eyeball the middle. And my middle is, I've decided, here. Yeah? So it's going to be here, and then I'm going to first, I think I need to make the hole a little bit bigger first, because these eyelets themselves are a little bit bigger. Yes. Now, to make your holes a little bit bigger, I just put in a pencil or a pen or whatever, and then gently sort of twist it, and that will make the hole a little bit bigger. See? So I'm going to do that beforehand. Are you? Yes, 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 yes. These hole reinforcers are also from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Yes, she has like these die cut sets, set called Reinforcement Variety Pack. She has a couple of them. This is, I believe, the original because it just says Variety Pack, but you have number 2 and number 3. The one I'm using now, I cannot find it anymore on either of the websites. But she has the other ones, and also I bought the other one just to show you. But I need to punch them again. Oh, look at that! Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a little pink sun. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put this in. It's already on the big setting, so that's fantastic. Is it in? Yeah. Oh yeah, that is so beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes, it's fantastic. Yes, these eyelets are rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I'm gonna try and take them out. Yes. Well, fortunately, that worked. Let's have another eyelet. What color are you gonna do? I'm gonna do white. Will it still look nice? Yes, it will. It will. Don't worry, love. Yes. What is going on? Is my setting off? No, it's in. It's in. I'm sorry for the delay, guys. Oh, it did look nice with pink, but that's okay. I'm going to have this could be a woolly ribbon, or whatever you want. I'm going to leave a bit of string, yes? Then I'm going to double it up and have the other part longer. How much longer? Let's see. I want to wrap it around. Well, yay much. Yay much. Just have a longer piece. Double it up. Not a lot, just like, what is this? Like 8 inches. I'm going to pull this through. Yes, and then pull the other strings, the 2 of them, through as well. Yes, so you have like a long part and a small part. Make any sense? Then you take the long part and you wrap it around. I'm going to wrap it around twice. And then you're going to use the smaller part to make a bow. And then I'm going to cut it to size. There you go. See? Lovely, lovely closure. Ta-da! Gonna open it up again. This is the simplest closure you can do on this one. And have all your bits and bobs in. Love it, love it, love it. Now, this was the quick one. Really, I think it took like a half an hour to make this. Let's do the not so quick one. Most of the process is going to be exactly the same. I'm going to use brown for this. You could use like cream colored cardstock or whatever color you want. I'm using brown. In that case, I don't need to ink. Yep, don't need to ink it at all. Now, this is an A4 sheet. An A4 is 11 5/8 by 8 1/4. That is an A4 sheet. For these measurements, I'm going to get my cheat sheet again. So now I'm going to score. This is A4 at 2.5. With the other one, it was 2. So I'm going to score at 2.5. Yep, 2.5. And then at 3. Again, I'm just going to make a 1/2 inch spine. Flipping it all around. And then I'm scoring at, cheat sheet, 3.5 instead of 3. 3.5. I've just made it a 1/2 inch bigger. And at 4. 3.5 and 4. Yes. So with an A4, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Just a bit bigger. And again, it is sort of simple, guys. I've made many of these in many different shapes and sizes. And the very first one, well, the principle of the accordion pocket folder thingy inside, I did not come up with this myself, of course. Who did? Well, I saw it first at Rachel, Roxy Creations. See, we made another box. It's just bigger than the previous one. But it is boring as it is. So what I want to do is cover it with beautiful digitals. Yes, all of these. Well, not all of these. Some of these. Before I do that, I just want to show you again how I make the pockets on the inside. So this is, again, 8, what was it? 8.5? 8.5. So I made the pockets, the papers, 8. See, I just made them a little bit smaller. Now, guys, I am one who is going to go all measuring and such. You don't need to do all the measuring. Just, you know, have your paper inside and mark it how big you want it. If you don't want to do any measuring, I just like to leave a little bit of an edge on both of these sides and on the top. Yeah. And then again, for this one, this was 3.5, so it would be 7 in total, but I want it to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going at 6 3/4. Just I took off 1/4 of an inch. Yes. Okay, hopefully that'll make sense. If not, there are chapters and you can, you know, switch back to what you missed. Just see, this is sort of okay. Well, that's a tongue. What are you? Well, it's going to be on the outside and there's going to be glue on it. They're just weird images sometimes in encyclopedias of all sorts. So these are the bases. Let's check. Yes, they are fit perfectly inside. Want to do the notches again? Let me show you how I do the notches. Lining 2 of them up. Taking a bit out and then using one of them as a template. There you go. Now we have 4. I'm just going to glue one shot, guys. Just to let you know again how this works. Just a bead of glue. Well, strip of glue. It's not a bead. There were no beads involved. Just glue them together on these smaller outsides. Yes. Now, before we glue all of them together and into this one, we need to decorate this one. For the decorating, I'm going to use these scans. Now, guys, this is not in my shop at the moment. These are actually scans that I made from an antique Dutch magazine called Panorama. And this was one of the first sort of years that they were printing. It's from 1914. It's a very, very old one. But it's big. So, and my previous scanner printer was like an A4 size. So the prints are not that lovely. However, I printed all of them out and I didn't want to throw them out. So I'm going to use this. Keep in mind, I will probably make something with this. A much more beautiful digital in future, but I have no clue when. So I'm going to use all of these. These are mostly what I did, because that's what I love, the advertisement pieces. Love it. Love the color. These were printed, the original ones, in a copper plate print, like koperdiepdruk. That's the Dutch sort of translation for this. And I just love it. I just love it. Yeah. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to cut them to size. I need to make panels. I need to make a couple of them. This is going to be the flap. So I need a panel here. I need a panel here. Then I'm going to have a panel on the flap on the inside. Also over here. You do not have to have it all the way to the bottom because you're only going to see a strip. And a big panel on the back. Now what I want to do is also put paper here and here. But really, honestly, you don't have to. You really don't have to. This is going to be a tedious job because we need a strip that is smaller than 1/2 inch. Because I want every panel to be on here to be a tiny bit smaller. Yes. In total, 1/8 of an inch smaller than the panel is. So this is 2.5, I believe. Did we do 2.5? Yes. So I want the panel to be 2.25 by, and this was it 8? Yes, so or 7.5, don't even know. Well, 1/8 of an inch shorter than this one. So figure out what paper you want to use, what panels do you want to use and such, and then cut them all to size in advance. What I normally do is cut them out and put on the backs the number where I want to put them. Yes, so I'm numbering these bits and then these bits. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that on camera because this will take me at least more than an hour. So again, panels everywhere. The only panel that we're not going to, there are 2 panels that we're not going to decorate. This one on the inside and this one over here. You don't need to decorate these. Well, you don't need to decorate it at all if you don't want to. So I'll be right back with all my panels. Yes? I cut out all my panels. That was a big job. You don't need to do any measuring and then, just put your piece of paper on. Yes, like so. And then mark it. And I'm going to mark it here and there. And it doesn't need to be precise, guys. Just, see what works for you. So I put I did all my panels. I numbered all the panels here and I put numbers on the back. Yes. Now what I want to do, and this is totally optional, is to round the corners on this flap. So I'm going to do that in advance. I love the brown paper because I don't need to ink any of this. Are you using a different sort of paper that is lighter? You can ink all around it. I'm not going to do that. What I did was ink all around the individual pieces. Now, I'm going to glue every piece on according to the numbers that are on here. However, these corners are rounded and this is straight. I do not like it to have it on here straight, so I need to round these corners as well. Problem is, this is just copy paper and my corner rounder does not really like copy paper. So what I do is I take my piece out that I want corners rounded on. Yes, I need to have these corners on the bottom. Not on the top. On the other one, I need them to have them on the top. I'm just going to align them with the heavier piece of paper. Have them really, really straight. And then I'm going to round the corners. I'm going to trick my corner rounder into thinking this is heavier paper than normal copy paper. And in that way, it rounds my corners perfectly. It will not eat the paper. Well, hopefully it won't eat the paper. Ow, it will eat my finger. There you go. Now I need to ink this bit again, but that's okay. So, and I'm also going to do that with the panel on the inside. But guys, be sure, where's number 2? Is it number 2? Yes. Don't do it on the bottom. Do it on the top. Do it on the top, right? Very important to see where your paper is going to be glued down. Don't bite me again, corner rounder, please. But you were tricking me, so I need to bite you. Yeah. This corner is not straight anymore. I need a new piece of paper that is straight. You really need to have a straight piece of paper. Otherwise, it will be all crooked. So, yeah. There you go. And I'm going to ink them again. So let me show you. I'm going to glue in 2 and then I'm going to do the rest off camera because I also really want to do some decorating. I've chosen this one to be the flap. And I have left quite a bit of room on the flap, the spaces on all the sides, a little bit more than the other ones. And I did that a little bit on purpose. I did it on purpose. Did you? Yeah. I'm just going to use this as a glue page. I just like it, the edge on there. Glue stick. Because I really want to sort of maneuver the piece about when I glue it on. There you go. A little bit over here, a little bit over there, and there you go. Well, this is my first flap. And I love it. I love it. I'm going to do all the panels on here. I'm going to leave a piece of border on all sides. Yeah? So I'll be right back. I glued every piece on. And I must say I'm really in love with this one. I just realized that with the previous one I made, the one for Corina, I also used Antique Magazine. I just like to work with it. A couple of tips, guys. This piece doesn't need to go all the way to the bottom because you're only gonna see this bit, and you don't need to glue anything here or here because these 2 pieces you will never ever see. Now, for gluing on these strips, just a little tip for you guys: have them really, really smaller than a half an inch, because if they stick out just a little bit, they will curl up at one point. So have them quite a bit smaller because these are the folds, so they will be folded up and down. Yeah, make any sense? Hope so. Okay, before I'm gluing in the pockets, I want to make a closure on the front and a pocket on the back. I'm going to start with the pocket on the back. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? I know, I just love it. I'm going to do all this sort of decorating before I glue everything in because now I can fold the whole piece open. I cut out another piece of advertisement about like a saloon boat. that's a thing back then. To have a pocket on here, but it does sort of really blends in, so I thought I'd back it with the same sort of brown cardstock. Yeah. So I just cut 2 pieces out. This is going to be a little bit bigger, of course, because I want the brown to show up. Oops, there you go. Now what I want to do, I want to decorate the pocket a little bit, not with bits and bobs, well, sort of bits and bobs. I'm going to glue it on here on 4 sides, but I want to have the illusion that it is attached on here with studs, with like these sort of brads. See that? I do not want to put the brads all the way through, so I'm just gonna put them in now. If I can find an awl. Yes, I'm just gonna put them in now fold them over, and then glue the piece on. Does that make any sense? It's just for decorating, guys. You don't need to attach anything. See, it just looks nice. I know Tim Holtz has some of these that you can just glue on. I also have them, like screws or something like this, yeah. I need to eyeball where I put the hole on. Doesn't need to be exact, lovey. So yeah, I'm just going to put these in. What you can do is put a little bit of tape over it, so you know that the paper that you put in the pockets will not get stuck. But I put it all the way to the end, so I don't think the paper will even be close to it. So I'm not gonna bother. These are tiny, tiny brads. It's just a nice touch. Well, I think so. And there you go. See? Oh yes, for sure. I'm going to use art for this because I really want this to be glued on. I'm just gluing a little bit around the brads. There you go. Just down here in this corner. Now you really need to push because the legs of the brads, they make the paper lift up a little bit. So I'm just gonna really push it down where the glue is. Yep. Fantastic, right? Yeah, love it, love it. Now let's do the closure. I want to have a different closure than I had on the previous one. I'm going to do one flap. I again cut out one piece of advertisement and I rounded the corners on the bottom and also on the flap that we're going to glue this on. Again, I'm going to glue it on a piece of the brown cardstock. There you go. Yes, leaving a little bit of a border everywhere, type of as a sort of flap. Now, what I want to do, guys, is not put it in the middle. I'm going to put it sort of over here. I just think it looks nice. I am going to glue it on, but I also want to use these two small brads to put through there and then put a piece of this string through. I think it will look cute. I think it will look cute. But let's see if this will work. If I put this on like so, will this still work? Yes. I'm just gonna approach this from an angle. So I'm gonna use art for this. I'm just gonna put glue on the top strip where it's going to be glued down. So you will see the string on the other side of the page. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm just gonna glue it over here. Now I really want this to be stuck down because this is the opening and the closing. So it will, you will pull on it. I'm sorry, I'm searching for words. You will pull on it a couple of times. So it needs to be on very sturdy. So now it's glued on. Yeah. Hopefully that was straight because this is art and, you know, well, that's not straight. That's not straight at all. Well, you know, glue it on straight, not crooked like I have done. Then I'm going to punch two small holes. One over here. I'm just going to eyeball it, guys. Are you? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm just going to eyeball it. And one over here. Yes. And this is purely decorative. Hello. See, like so. Now I need my smaller setting. Hopefully this time it will work better than on the last one. Oh yeah, it's in already. Yep. And then I'm just gonna put a piece of string in. I just thought it would look nice. Now you could have put some paper on the other side as well. I didn't, but that's okay. You could also have a small label on or decorate it in any other way that you like. There you go. Are you gonna tie a bow? I'm gonna tie a bow. Just like so. I just think it's cute. It's cute, right? Yeah. Now before I am going to put the Velcro dots on, I want to put all the pockets in. Now let me show you again how this works. So here we are again, guys. These are the pockets. I'm gonna start here, flipping this over. I glued all of them. The notches are in. And just only glue stick in the middle where the notch is. There you go. Aligning them up. And like so. It is very easy. And the next one. Yep. And the last. There you go. All of them glued together are my pocket shot. This one's open, this one, and this one. Ta-da! Again, nice pockets. Now, what did we do? We want to glue this over here, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Again, glue on here a little bit more than I did on the insides. Lining it up, leaving a little bit from the bottom as well, guys. And on all, just, you know, leaving a tiny bit on all edges. When you put it straight up, it doesn't peek out on the top. And it is above this fold. That is very important, right? It needs to be floating a little bit. Can you see that? Yeah, that is very important. Okay, and now for this part. Glue, 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 glue everywhere. The trickiest part. Yes. Fold it over. Have this straight. Straight as possible. Yep. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Yes, I need to put my hand in here. Yes. Need to let it dry. I'm not gonna pull very hard because we need to let it dry. There you go. They're in. It's fantastic. Now all we have to do is put some Velcro dots on here. I already sort of decorated it. I thought, oh, let's put, you know, something on here. So I did. Also, I need Velcro dots on here. It's gonna be fine. I think we can even manage to have only one Velcro dot here. I'm gonna try that. What I'm also gonna do, because these are like white-ish, yeah. I'm going to cut one out before I do all of them. Leave it on the plastic. I'm just gonna cut it out. These are white, of course. They are also in black, but they are not in ground espresso. No. I have a piece of paper. I'm just gonna try and sort of ink them. Hello. To have them less white. Will that work? Oh, it is working. It is working. It is. So, I have a ground espresso one now, and I have like a very nice, I've been smoking for years. No, I'm sorry. Okay. So this one, the other one is see-through. So the see-through one I want to have on this bit, and I'm gonna have the woolly on here. How I do this, I just, you know, put them together first, like so. Yeah. Need to take this bit off first. Yep. And then this one. Now, guys, woolly bit here, clear bit here. I'm just going to put on the woolly bit first. I am going to put it over here. up top there in the corner. Yes, I'm adding a tiny bit more glue. Just a tiny bit. I might do another one over here, but I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Now, this is again very important. This is already straight. Now we need to have this piece over here straight. Straight as possible. Yes. And then I'm going to press down. Like so. I need to let it dry for a little bit. Now, the first time when you open it up, be very careful. Just be careful. To be sure you have, yes. See, it's on here, it's on here. It's a little bit, the ink just came off a little bit on it, but that's okay, I don't mind it. Will one suffice? Yes, it will. It is closed. No, it's not. I'm gonna shake it. Will it open up? No, no, it won't. I'm just gonna leave one on there. I'm just gonna do one, right? Yes, fantastic. I love it. Now let's quickly check the end result, because I have no clue how long this video is, because I've been cutting and inking and gluing in between, and it might be a very long one. Let's see the end result. Here they are. We made a very simple one. I love this one, but it's very simple. We didn't do any decorating because I use paper that's already really, really lovely. Yep. Just a very simple closure. You don't even have to use an eyelet. Just, you know, punch a hole in it, put a thread through, and Bob's your uncle. Yes, the pockets, put stuff in. You can do some decorating here. You can make a small pocket here, big pocket there, whatever you want. I love this paper. I love the cuteness of it. This one, however, you have not noticed it, but this took almost 1.5 hours to 2 hours longer, because of all the matting, the pieces, the panels that I had to do on here. A little tip for making these panels: if you're going to make this one, yes, and have a nice image on it, be sure to check where your flap will be. Just in case it cuts off half a butterfly or a half a face or what have you, yeah? So take that into consideration. Love it. I really wanted to have the name of the magazine on here, Panorama, and then the date that it came out, 18 November 1914. For the smaller strips, I like to have sentences or, you know, words or numbers here. It says 10 cents, or in Belgium 20 cents, and this has an address on here, and on the inside it also has an address and a telephone number 1. Yes, it's like very first telephone number in Leiden in the Netherlands. So yeah, you open it up like so, and you have all the pockets, and I love it. I absolutely adore this one. Love the colors. Pocket on the back with the brats in here. Yeah, fantastic. Guys, I hope you liked project number 4. I have made several sorts of these throughout the year. However, I will link this one. I will link the 1000 subscriber video. It's an old one. It was a completely different setup, and you know, so be kind, guys. I will also have a playlist of all 5 favorite projects for this year. Yes, there's only 2 in there now, but at the end it will have 5. I'll be back again tomorrow, guys, with number 4. Start guessing what that one will be. It's going to be a lovely one. Thank you for hanging out with me today, guys, and I will hopefully see you back tomorrow. Bye.